Hello, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about Fruit Awakening. So who doesn't like a good old Fruit Awakening in Blox Fruits? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Speaking of fruits, do you want to win a permanent fruits? Well, we are super close to our subscriber goal of 85,000 subscribers, and at our 85,000 subscriber giveaway, we're going to be giving away a permanent fruit. So, to everybody that's subscribed, all you have to do right now is join our Discord, and to everybody that's not subscribed yet, all you have to do is subscribe and, comments, and you will be entered into this giveaway. So, don't forget to like and subscribe because we're going to be doing a permanent food giveaway at 85,000 subscribers. And is it just me that actually misses the old times in Blox Fruits when they didn't take a single year to update once? I actually genuinely miss those old times, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I have a fear that the next Fruit Awakening might take genuinely 2 more years before we see. Just to put it into perspective, the last Fruit Awakening was in September 11, 2022. That's right, the last Fruit Awakening was nearly 2 years ago. Okay, there's been a lot of games that hasn't even been released yet, or with the last Awakening that we got, which is actually the Doe Awakening. Now, in all honesty though, the Doe Awakening is actually genuinely pretty cool, and I do love the Awakening of Doe. It's genuinely pretty cool in my opinion. I love Doe a lot, even though it pretty much broke the PvP in this game. There's a lot of things that got broken because of Doe, because of how strong Doe was. So let's actually go take a look at Fruit Awakenings and which fruits could they awaken, or which fruits should they awaken. So most of the fruits have actually already received an awakening except for the new ones. These fruits right here, the rocket, the spin, the chop, bomb, smoke, spike, they don't actually need an awakening anymore. As a matter of fact, look at flame. Even flame has its own awakening. That's actually pretty insane. Ice even has its own awakening, and apart from ice having its own awakening, even sand, bro, has its own awakening. Dark has its own awakening. Light has its own awakening. We're gonna skip rubber, obviously, because we're gonna talk about that later on in this video. But let's actually go take a look at barrier or barrier. Now, barrier is a pretty bad fruit in Blox Fruits, all things considered. You cannot use this in PvP. I mean, there are some sweats out there that will use this in PvP, but genuinely for most people, it's gonna be quite bad. How about instead of adding new fruits and reworking new fruits and stuff like that, or reworking fruits that are pretty good, how about you give barrier an awakening? That would actually be pretty cool. And what are the things that they could add to barrier is give it a infinity like defense. So for example, Gojo has infinity. They could actually add that to barrier, and they could call it ultimate defense or something like that. And with this, you're not gonna get damage. Basically, you're not gonna receive damage for like 5 seconds. So here I'm actually gonna eat some barrier food to show you guys some of the moves. For example, barrier wall, surprise attack. Like, let's be honest here, nobody's gonna die or nobody's gonna lose a barrier fruit user. As long as you're skilled enough and you're not a kid, you're definitely not gonna lose to a barrier fruit user. So I think definitely instead of focusing on offense, they should make it a defensive fruit where it's gonna have a defense. Maybe if it gets enough damage, the barrier is gonna break. But as long as it has as long as there's a defense like that for barrier in the awakening, it's genuinely gonna be pretty worth it. Then it's gonna be great for fruit users, right? So let's actually move on to the next fruit because we have a lot to talk about. The next one that I'm gonna talk about is leopard. Now the reason why I'm talking about leopard is even though leopard just got released, one thing that you should know is it's been almost 2 years since leopard fruit has been released. I mentioned earlier that the Doe Awakening was released like 2 years ago. Leopard has also been released like 2 years ago. That's how crazy it is. Blox Fruits just doesn't update very often, but it's been a long time since leopard got an awakening. And what's actually pretty insane is we actually have an awakening for leopard in One Piece. So it does make sense to give leopard an awakening in my opinion. So I'm not gonna talk too much about this. The next one is gonna be pain. Now I'm not really gonna talk too much into detail about pain because it's already been changed from paw to pain. So I do think that it's going to be getting a rework. I think that pain is most likely going to be getting a rework very, very, very soon because it's been changed from paw to pain, and that's pretty much what they did with Ghost. They made it from revive to Ghost. By the way, there's a lot of people saying, oh, how does he have Ghost? How does he have the old revive? They changed revive to Ghost after they released update 20, but they only released the rework for it about a few weeks later, like about a week or two later, then they released the rework for Ghost. But they first changed Revive to Ghost, or the icon to Ghost, then they released the rework. after like 2 weeks. That's how in some of my screenshots or some of my video clips, I'm using the old revive. That was around during update 20. And I think that's pretty much what they're doing with Pain as well. They're gonna give us the rework for this possibly in the next update. Actually, I do see it getting released in the next update. But yeah, for now, if it doesn't get a rework, it definitely should get an awakening because it's pretty much lacking right now. It's not that bad, but it definitely should get an awakening or a rework, which it probably will. Alright, so one thing, quick question for you guys. If you go take a look at the shop, open the shop, open more fruits, and you go take a look at some of these. Okay, rocket, spin, chop, spring, bomb, smoke, spike. These fruits don't deserve a rework nor a awaken. So let's ignore these fruits because they're just fodder fruits. They're just there so that they can be rolled when you're rolling for fruits, and so you could be mad. Okay, so they don't really need reworks, even for Falcon. So Flame, it definitely already has rework. Ice already has a rework. Sand already has a rework. Most of these actually already have a rework. Diamond, in my opinion, is perfect as it is, so it definitely doesn't need a rework or a awakening, but it could use an awakening. But if you go take a look at most of these fruits, most of them has been reworked. Most of them has been awakened. If you go take a look at this, Quake has been reworked. Buddha has been awakened. Love has been reworked. Spider is reworked. Sound is a new fruit. Phoenix has an awakening. Portal has gotten a rework. Rumble has an awakening. And Blizzard is a new fruit. Gravity already reworked. So most of these are new, or they have a rework, or they have an awakening. But if you go take a look at one fruit in here, Rubber, it actually hasn't received anything pretty major. Now, it did get a rework before, but the rework for Rubber genuinely isn't that good. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. The rework for Rubber is kind of bad. It's pretty bad. So if you go take a look at Rubber right now and you take a look at most of its moves, it's definitely not very good for PvP or anything like that. It's definitely a pretty bad fruit in my opinion. And it does have a transformation like this. So as you guys can see, it will be transforming into that. However, it still is, in my opinion, pretty weak. Yeah, it's still pretty weak in my opinion, even though it did get a rework a while ago. So I do think that the number one fruit that definitely needs an awakening is going to be Rubber. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be Gear 5, like how the thumbnail shows it. It doesn't necessarily need to be Gear 5. It could be their own take on the Rubber Awakening. In my opinion, they could add their own take to the Rubber Awakening. And I actually do have something to show you. From the fruit contest winners, there are two fruits that I see they could definitely make into the awakening of Rubber. So maybe instead of adding Dream as an actual fruit, they could make Dream the awakening of Rubber. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the awakening of Rubber in One Piece is Sun God Nika, which is a god. And Dream, according to this concept right here, this fan artist, the maker of Dream, it actually is based off a god and dreams, dreams, reality and dreams. And it would actually be a pretty interesting concept if they made the awakening of Rubber into this dream right here. And as you guys could see, even some of the moves right here, the strange dreams, it looks pretty insane. Some of these moves right here are pretty cool. Even the transformation, I don't know if that's a transformation, but it's pretty insane. They definitely could make this into the awakening of Rubber, or they could make Celestial the awakening of Rubber. Instead of adding Celestial, they could make that the awakening of Rubber fruit. Instead of adding Celestial, they could make the rework of Rubber into that fruit, so they can avoid copyrights and yada yada yada, other stuff like that. And what they should also do is make the quest in order to awaken Rubber fruit very, very difficult. So if you guys don't know already, they're going to be adding a dragon boss in the next update. Maybe you're gonna need to fight that dragon boss or something like that in order to awaken your Rubber fruit. They can make it so that it's very difficult to awaken your Rubber, but they can also make it so that it's very good, and that will be pretty perfect since that won't be pay to win. And I think if any of the developers or owners of the game are listening right now, then yeah, that would actually be pretty cool if you decided to make Rubber awaken into Celestial or into the Dream fruit. That would be very great in my opinion. And anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and peace out everybody.